I have truly underestimated the severity of this case when me and my sister were first assigned to it those years ago. When the chief came up to us one day and told us about a seemingly possessed plush doll killing people indiscriminately, I can remember chuckling at such a childish concept. I was definitely out of line, but it just sounded too bizarre to be taken seriously. But the chief did take it seriously. We were debriefed on the case, given all the information that we needed to catch up on, and we were on our way. I honestly didn't know what he expected for us to accomplish. Sure, we were good at snitching out the supernatural and analyzing it, but this just seemed too out of our depth. It was like he was sending us to die. Still, my sister soldiered on through this case, and I felt obligated to do the same, despite every fiber of my being not wanting to, out of self-preservation. We spent years trying to track down this Miko doll, encountering dead ends and dead bodies, close calls and capturing it, and escaping with our lives. I didn't know how much more I was going to put up with it. It felt like it was going nowhere. But our efforts were paying off. Once we were able to verify that the Miko doll was a demon using the facade of a plush doll to lure in its victims, we were essentially given the green light to perform an exorcism on it. I wasn't sure if the intent behind the exorcism was to either destroy the plush doll that the demon had been using as a vessel, or to eject the demon from the plush doll and send it back into hell. Either way, it was clear what we had to do next. We had to bait him into the circle, where the exorcism would be performed. My sister insisted to be the bait. I pleaded and begged for my sister to reconsider, to use somebody else for the bait, but she was adamant on her decision. She argued that the demon was clever, and if we had used somebody else, like a homeless person or a criminal, then the demon would have suspected that something was off, and the trap would have been ruined. It's sound reasoning, but I just didn't want to see her go. I didn't want her to die. And the thing is, I don't even know if she did. The bait did work. She was grievously injured with deep gashes on her body. Once we ensured that the doll was in the circle, she was immediately escorted out. And that was the last time I ever saw her. I never heard back if she ever survived, or if she succumbed to her injuries. I guess I never will know. I should have known it was too good to be true. We scooped up the ashes of the horrible demon that once stood. We put them in a jar, and once we cleaned out the area, we sent them off to be, quote-unquote, thoroughly cleansed and obliterated. But it was during the send-off, when they were handing off the jar, that I noticed that there were a lot more ashes in it than there were before. It didn't make sense. Once we put the lid in the jar, we never opened it back up again. How did it accumulate more ash in that jar? My prevailing theory on the matter is that the demon had spent so long in this plush doll facade that the very fabric of the doll had been imbued with its demonic essence, and since we put all the remains in a small, tightly shut jar, it was able to regenerate and escape out into the world again. The reports we have received after the Miko Doll's reemergence has contradicted our previous claim of its indiscriminate nature of killing. Instead, it has been going after the people that were there at its exorcism, including me. And I know it's after me now. Despite the inevitability of what's to come, I've still gone out of my way to delay it as much as I possibly can. Perhaps those good old self-preservation instincts coming in again. I guess this is it for me. My last moments on this earth. Really thought I would do more, but I guess not. Maybe I'll see my sister again. Or maybe she could save me in her new ghostly form. Who am I kidding? If only I were that lucky.
Who are you trying to fool here, Mr. Reed? Let's see how loud your screams betray your bravery.